The stars were cold and silent. For 1,000 years, the Zarkili Empire had explored the edge of the galaxy. They believed they had seen everything: dead planets, broken machines, and the ashes of old civilizations. But today, their long-range patrol ship, the Varnuk, found something strange. It was small, floating. Just a box made of old Earth metal, spinning slowly near a forgotten moon. Captain Kelros, a tall Zarkilian with silver skin and black eyes, stared at the object on his screen. "Is that human tech?" he asked. "Yes, Captain," replied Technician Zarn, his voice nervous. "It's marked with Earth's old communication symbols. Very old, over 800 Earth years." Captain Kelros narrowed his eyes. "A black box, maybe from a satellite or deep space drone." He leaned forward. "Bring it in." The box in the cold loading bay. The team opened the black box. Dust floated out like ash. Inside was a small, ancient computer with blinking lights. It still had power. Engineer Threx wiped it carefully with his gloves. "Still intact," he said. "Data drive is encrypted, but we can crack it." Captain Kelros looked at the others. "Do it. Let's see what the humans left behind." Hours passed. The ship was quiet. Everyone gathered in the command room as the screen lit up with decoded files. Most were technical: maps, engine data, communication logs. Then they saw one file with a strange title. File name: Terror Protocol, 1982. Zarn frowned. "Protocol? Sounds military." Threx nodded. "Maybe a secret human weapon?" Kelros sat back. "Play it." The war footage. The screen flickered. Old static. Then a shaky video appeared. Black and white. A human soldier, young, sweating, ran through a dark forest. He looked terrified. Behind him, something moved. Something tall, thin, shadowy. Suddenly, the soldier screamed. The screen shook violently. The sound of tearing flesh. Then silence. The room on the ship was dead quiet. Another scene. A group of humans trapped in a building. One whispered, "They come at night. They take our skin." A loud scream. A bloody handprint on the wall. Captain Kelros felt a chill run down his spine. What is this?" Zarn whispered. "It's a war report. Some kind of nightmare unit." Threx's voice shook. "No, not just war. This is survival. They were hunted, destroyed. The mistake begins. They watched the entire recording. No title screen, no actors, just raw, terrifying footage. By the end, some crew members couldn't even look at the screen." "Captain." Kelros stood. "Send this to High Command." "Market level 1 threat." Zarn nodded. "Yes, sir." One young alien whispered from the back, "Are these real monsters?" Another said, "No, it's worse. The humans fought them and survived." Kelros stared out the window into space. If this was only one human team, what else do they have? High Command receives the file back on the Zarkilian homeworld. High Command watched the footage. The Galactic Council was summoned in emergency session. The head of science, Archmind Velto, reviewed the data. "The creatures in the footage do not match any known life form," he said. "No energy signature, no DNA data. They appear as shadows, but with solid mass." "Are they from another dimension?" asked General Harth. Velto looked uneasy. "Possibly. But the real question is, how did the humans survive them?" A silence fell across the room. The defense minister said, "This terror protocol, was it a training video? A warning? Or a trophy?" The Alien Council could not decide, but they all agreed on one thing: Earth must be monitored. No one should approach the humans without permission. "They won a war," said one alien commander. "Against monsters." "Or worse," whispered Velto. "Maybe they created them." Zorik questions the truth while panic spread. One alien did not believe everything he saw. His name was Zorik, a lower-level researcher working at the Zarkelian archives. Zorak was small and quiet, with dull blue skin and curious eyes. He had watched the Terror Protocol many times, and something felt off. The humans recorded everything, he said to himself. Perfect camera angles, perfect lighting. They even had music in the background. He paused the video during a scene where a human woman screamed. Her scream echoed perfectly, and the shadows waited, almost dramatically. That's not how real war looks, Zorak said. He started to dig into old Earth data, what little his people had. The hidden clue late one night. Zorak found something. Broken signal in the database. A small human file with bright letters. Horror movie, The Nightbringer -1982. Zorak clicked it. The opening image was the same scene from Terror Protocol. His eyes widened. It's the same footage. He checked the human file info. Fictional horror film, directed by Wesich Gorman. Fictional, Zorak leaned back in his chair. It's not war footage, he whispered. It's a movie, a story. But the message had already spread across the stars, and no one was ready to listen. Conclusion of Part 1. The discovery of a simple movie had started a galactic fear spiral. Across hundreds of alien worlds, leaders believed the humans had survived the worst creatures imaginable, and maybe even controlled them. While the galaxy prepared for war, one alien Zorak had discovered the truth. But truth was not what the galaxy wanted. Fear had already taken root, and fear was louder than facts. Zorak sat alone in his dark lab, staring at the screen. The truth was clear. Terror Protocol 1982 was not a war record. It was just a human movie, a scary story. Nothing more, but the galaxy did not know this, and worse, they did not want to know. Panic on the homeworld, across the Zarkelian Empire. The war footage spread like fire. Generals watched it. Scientists studied it. Civilians whispered about it. News broadcasts showed broken clips screaming humans, shadow monsters, bloody walls. The message was simple and terrifying. The humans were attacked by nightmare creatures. Survived, or they created them. In schools, children were told to avoid anything related to Earth. In military bases, officers practiced drills in darkness, just in case the shadow monsters ever came. No one laughed. No one questioned. Except for Zorek. Council orders. Prepare for contact. High Command held a second emergency meeting. The video had caused panic not just in Zarkelian space, but across the entire region. The Carnathi, the Urank, and the Trelvian Hive all sent the same question. Are the humans planning something? The Council issued a galaxy-wide warning. Avoid Earth. Do not respond to human signals. Prepare defense protocols. Zorak watched the announcement with worry. They don't even know it was fiction, he said quietly. And now they're treating it like war. Spreading fear, not truth, Zorak tried to tell his superiors. He brought his report to his department head, Archivist Lernax. This was not real, Zorak said. The humans made it up. For entertainment. Look this word here, movie. It means fake story, Lernax frowned. Do you have any idea what you're saying? Yes, Zorak said. I'm saying the panic is a mistake. Lernax leaned forward. Zorak, do not speak of this again. The Council has declared it truth. If you say otherwise, they may call you a traitor. Zorak stepped back. But I have proof. Proof doesn't matter, Lernax whispered. Fear matters. The shadows in the data. While leaders planned defenses, scientists tried to scan the shadows in the video. They slowed down every frame. They enhanced the images. They saw dark limbs, glowing red eyes, strange movements that didn't match known physics. They're not just monsters, said Chief Analyst Brolk. They are something else. A theory formed. The night beings were a test. The humans had fought them, learned from them, and maybe controlled them. They left this file for us to find, one scientist said. It's a warning. Another said, no, it's a threat. Civilian fear in the cities of the Zarkelian Empire. Fear turned into action. Shops sold light charms to protect against the shadows. New religions formed, ones that worshipped the dark test. Believing humans were gods of fear, some believed. Earth had become a cursed planet. In one city, a massive wall was painted with the words, "Do not look at Earth." Children asked, will the humans send the monsters here? Parents said, if we obey. Maybe not. Zorak watches the lie grow. Zorak sat in his quarters, watching as everything spun out of control. No one would listen to him. He replayed the movie again and again. He saw fake blood. He saw actors pretending to scream. He found names, directors, writers, makeup artists. Humans had even won awards for making the movie. Zorak spoke to himself. They made fear fun. He looked outside his window at the stars. The galaxy doesn't understand. The probe mission back at High Command, General Harth gave a new order. Send a stealth probe to Earth. Get live visuals. We must know if the monsters still exist. The Council agreed. We will not attack. But we must watch. The probe was launched quiet, invisible, fast. As it flew toward Earth, the data streamed in. They saw humans walking freely in cities. No monsters. No war. Just normal life. The generals were confused. Then the probe's camera caught something strange. A group of humans entering a building with a glowing sign. Midnight horror movie. The Nightbringer Remastered, 2082. The exact same title. Inside, humans laughed. Some screamed, but in fun. Others ate snacks. Misunderstanding grows. General Harth's report said, the humans are training to enjoy fear. They feed on it. They are not afraid of the shadows. They embrace them. One analyst replied, they've weaponized fear against themselves. Another said, what if the monsters were real? But now humans control them using joy. A third whispered, they've become monsters themselves. No one considered that it was all still just a movie. Zorak screamed into his pillow. They're watching people go to a theater. It's fake, it's fun. But the reports had already gone out. Now, even the Carnathy Warfleet moved toward defensive positions, ending a galaxy on edge by the end of the week. Fear had spread across 500 systems. Earth's name was banned in several databases. Alien schools rewrote history books. They listed the Terror Protocol as the human shadow war. And at the center of it all, one small alien. Zorak held the truth. A truth no one wanted. He sat alone in the archive. He whispered, they found a human horror movie. And now, the galaxy is preparing for war. He looked at the stars again. If fiction caused this, what will they do when they see the real thing? The stars were quiet, but something strange had begun. Alien probes sent to Earth, each designed to observe, silently started going dark. No explosions, no signals, no returns. They simply stopped. One by one. And the galaxy began to wonder, is Earth watching us back? Lost in the shadows, General Harth stared at the screen. The third Zarkelian probe had vanished 2 hours after reaching Earth's orbit. No signal, no wreckage, just silence. He leaned toward his officer. Were we detected? The officer shook his head. Impossible. The probe was cloaked, heatless, no light, no sound. And yet, it's gone, Harth said coldly. He turned to the room. Send another probe, faster, deeper, and give it a self-destruct code. Across the command center, silent fear settled. In Zorak's frustration, far away, Zorak read the latest report. Probe Omega-7 lost above Earth's southern orbit. Zorak slammed his fists on his desk. No. They think the monsters are real because of a movie. Now probes are disappearing, and they believe Earth is defending its secrets. He paced the room. What if Earth isn't destroying the probes? He asked aloud. What if they're malfunctioning? What if it's just error? But no one would listen. No one wanted reason. They wanted answers. And in the galaxy now, fear was the answer. A growing theory. Earth's silence is a warning. Alien governments began forming a new idea. Earth knows we are watching. They are silent on purpose. They want us to fear. Some believed the humans had built a planetary shield that destroyed any approaching tech. Others believed the shadow creatures, seen in the Terror Protocol, were still guarding Earth. A few said something even darker. Humans sent out the movie to bait us. And now, they're waiting. A message from the void suddenly. One probe sent back a short clip, only 10 seconds. It showed a strange signal floating in Earth's lower orbit. A simple shape, a white mask, floating in space. Then dash static. Nothing more. But the shape was clear. It matched a face from the horror movie. A creature with hollow eyes and a white, blood-stained mask. Aliens across 5 species watched the image. Some screamed. Others ran. General Harth watched the clip 5 times. Then he stood and said, "Recall all probes. We are being hunted." Zorak connects the dots in his archive lab. Zorak studied the image carefully. He zoomed in, ran filters, compared it to the horror film. "It's exactly the same," he whispered. Then he paused. "Wait." He ran the footage backwards. Looked at reflections in the stars. Then he gasped. "It's a fake. Someone or something had planted the horror mask in orbit. Not humans. Not shadow creatures. Someone is trying to make us panic," Zorak said. He wrote a full report. Labeled it, "Possible Alien Misinformation False Threat Created from Human Fiction." But no one read it, because that same day, another probe vanished. Civilian reactions. Full panic across alien cities. The news exploded. Earth destroys 5th probe leaves horror mark as message. Shops closed. Schools evacuated. People wore metal charms shaped like stars. Entire transport ships refused to fly near human territory. One alien child asked, "Will the shadows eat us next?" His mother hugged him. "Not if we hide." Alien military response. The Carnathy Warfleet moved ships to the border near Earth's sector. The Urank Collective began building artificial suns' massive orbiting lights designed to burn away the darkness. The Zarkelian Council passed a law. No citizen may watch human videos. Not even historical ones. Fear had become law, and Earth still said nothing. Zorak's secret plan. Zorak knew time was running out. If things got worse, someone might launch an attack on Earth. All based on a lie. He made a decision. If no one will believe me, I'll go myself. He activated an old scout pod hidden in the archives. Small, quiet, legal for research purposes, but powerful enough to reach Earth in 5 days. He entered the ship, set coordinates, and launched without permission. Zorak whispered, "I have to see the truth before it's too late." Ending. The fear becomes real as Zorak's ship vanished into deep space. A new signal was detected in orbit around Earth. A low voice, repeating the same phrase in dozens of alien languages. "You watched, now we are watching." The signal was never confirmed to come from Earth, but no one dared ask the humans. And across the stars, one question echoed. If humans can imagine such monsters, what else can they create? Zorak's small ship moved through dark space, like a quiet ghost. His mission was clear: reach Earth and prove the truth. But across the galaxy, fear had grown stronger, and now a dangerous theory had spread. A theory that made humans even more terrifying than monsters. A new idea spreads. The alien high councils gathered again. By now, 6 probes had vanished near Earth. The strange white mask had appeared twice in orbit. Zarkelian scientists had no explanation. Carnathy warriors demanded answers. So, one Urank general stood up and said, What if this is all part of a plan? Everyone turned to him. He continued, what if the humans made this horror movie on purpose, not just for fun, but as a weapon? They sent it into space. They wanted us to find it. They wanted us to fear them. The room went silent. Then, another voice said, what if the monsters are fake, but the message is real? Fear as a weapon. Military minds started analyzing the terror protocol again, but this time, not as a war report, but as a trap. An artificial fear weapon. One general said, they used fiction to plant images in our minds. Images we can't forget. That is more dangerous than any bomb. Alien psychologists agreed. Fear changes people. It changes entire species. Maybe the humans learn to control fear itself. The trap theory grows soon. The new idea had a name, the human trap theory. It said, humans invented terrifying images. They shared them to frighten other species. Once aliens feared them, humans could win any future war without fighting. Some believed humans had tested this fear on their own people for centuries using movies, stories, and games. They trained their children to enjoy fear, one scientist said. Now they have weaponized it for the stars. Zorek nears Earth inside his tiny ship. Zorek read the council reports. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. They think humans are using horror like a mind weapon, he said quietly. He looked out at the blue planet growing larger in the window. Earth doesn't even know they're being watched. But then, something strange happened. His ship systems glitched. For a moment, the lights blinked red. A deep sound echoed through the speakers. Zorek froze. The ship's eye said, unidentified signal detected. Zorek whispered, is something watching me? On the ground, first human contact. Zorek landed his ship in a hidden forest near an old human town. His body changed. Form holographic disguise activated. Now he looked like a small human man with a hooded jacket and old boots. He walked slowly into the town. People laughed. Children played. Music played from open shops. No one looked afraid. And then he saw it. A sign, Classic Horror Film Festival, tonight, The Nightbringer, 2082 Remastered. Zorek gasped. The same film the galaxy feared was being shown again. For fun. Inside the theater, Zorek entered the dark human theater. He sat in the back, nervous. The lights dimmed. The movie began. People around him laughed, gasped, covered their eyes, but no one screamed in terror. No one believed it was real. Zorek looked around. These people, they know it's fake, he whispered. They made fear their entertainment. Zorek learns the truth after the movie. Zorek followed a group of human teens outside. One said, that movie still gives me chills. Another laughed, dude, it's just rubber suits and sound effects. Zorek stepped closer. Excuse me, he said. That film, it's not a real story? The teens looked confused. What? Nah, man. That's fiction. Just a horror classic. Wait, you thought it was real? One laughed. Zorek smiled awkwardly. I'm not from around here. The truth hits hard. Back in his ship, Zorek recorded a message. The horror movie was fiction. Humans know it is fake. They made it to enjoy fear safely, not to scare others. But now the galaxy believes it is real. They think Earth is a threat. He paused. I fear what will happen next. Because sometimes, a lie believed by many becomes more dangerous than the truth. Ending. The trap belief becomes dangerous. Back in the alien worlds, no one received Zorek's message. His signal was blocked. High Command had already decided. Even if the video was fake, the humans created it. They showed what they're capable of imagining. And that is even more dangerous than what is real. Fear had won. And across the galaxy, military fleets continued to move. Zorek had found the truth. The horror movie the galaxy feared was nothing more than fiction. Humans watched it for fun, not war. The monsters were fake, the blood was paint, and the screams were acted. But now, the hardest part remained: getting anyone to believe him. Returning to the Starshorek ship lifted off from Earth's forest, quiet and hidden, he looked out the window one last time. The planet below was peaceful. No monsters, no shadows. Just laughter, lights, and life. "I have to stop this panic," he said, "before it turns into a war." He activated his secure data pod full of human files proving the truth. Behind-the-scenes movie footage actor. Interviews, production credits, and music files, everything was ready. But when Zorak entered deep space again, something felt wrong. Intercepted halfway to Zarkelian space, a sharp alarm rang through Zorak's ship. A red light blinked. "Incoming vessel, unauthorized intercept." Zorak's eyes widened. "No. They found me." Two dark Zarkelian ships uncloaked near him. A message came through. "Zorak of the Archive. You are under arrest for spreading false knowledge and contacting a restricted species." He shouted back, "You don't understand. I saw the truth. Earth isn't a threat." The voice replied coldly, "Your words sound like mind control. Or worse, manipulation by the humans. Power down. Or be destroyed." Takan Zorak had no choice. He powered down. Guards boarded his ship, took his files, and locked him inside a small metal room. For days, he sat alone. No window, no voice, just silence. But worse, they deleted his message before it reached High Command. High Command reacts back on the Zarkelian homeworld. The Council reviewed Zorak's arrest. General Harth stood. "He made direct contact with Earth. He risked the safety of our entire species. He even claims the video was fake." Gasps filled the chamber. One leader whispered, "Or he was brainwashed." "By the humans," another said. "Perhaps he saw something and chose their side." Only one quiet voice in the room, young council member, muttered, "What if he's telling the truth?" No one answered. The silence meant only one thing. They had already made up their minds. A rising storm across alien space. Fleets began to move closer to Earth's outer system. No. Shots were fired, but weapons were charged. Ships waited in the dark. No. One wanted war, but no one wanted to be unprepared. A single Zarkelian commander said to his crew, "If they send more of those monsters, we will strike first." Earth's message back on Earth. Human scientists had started to notice something, a pattern in space, unusual signals, movements that didn't belong to their satellites. Earth's governments gathered in secret. Then, they decided to respond. They sent out a simple message in many alien languages. "We are aware of your presence. The file you found was fiction, a horror film from 1982. If you have questions, we are open to peaceful contact. We are not your enemy." Alien response. More fear. The message was soft, kind, clear. But the galaxy didn't hear peace. They heard confidence. They heard boldness. They said, "They know we're watching, and they are unafraid." Maybe that's the real message. They fear nothing. High Command dismissed the human transmission as psychological warfare. "They pretend to be weak," one leader said, "but they have power we cannot see." Zorak's last plea in his prison cell. Zorak finally got one visitor, Archivist Lernax, the one who once warned him to stay silent. Zorak looked up. "I saw the truth," he said softly. "It was fiction, just a movie." Lernax said nothing. Zorak leaned forward. "You can still stop this. Show the others what I brought back." Lernax stared at him with tired eyes. "Zorak, the truth doesn't matter anymore. The fear has grown too strong. Even if we showed them proof, they would still prepare for war." Zorak closed his eyes. The galaxy is afraid of something that never existed. Ending. The edge of the knife out in deep space. Earth looked peaceful, but all around it, shadows moved. Alien fleets, hidden probes, blinking weapons. And in 100 alien minds, the same thought grew louder. If humans can imagine such monsters, what else can they do? In a cold prison cell, Zorak whispered to himself, "Fear created this war, not truth." The galaxy was divided. Some believed humans had created monsters to conquer fear. Others believed humans were monsters in disguise. But one thing united every alien world. No one believed Zorak anymore. Alone in the dark, Zorak sat in his prison cell, cold and silent. His mind replayed Earth's laughter, the smiling humans in the theater, the jokes, the snacks, the fake screams. And now here, far from Earth, he sat as a criminal for telling the truth. "This is madness," he whispered. "They fear shadows more than reality." He pressed his hand to the wall, and with a tiny spark from a tool hidden in his collar, a secret panel blinked open. Zorak had prepared for this. If they won't hear the truth, I'll make them see it. The escape late that cycle, the stations. Backup power blinked, just once. That was enough. Zorak slipped through the tunnels beneath the cells, using old maintenance maps he had memorized long ago. 2 guards heard something, but only silence replied by the time the alarm sounded. Zorak had launched from a hidden shuttle. Dock inside a cargo pod. He was free, but his time was short. Zorak's plan Zorak didn't run. He turned his stolen ship toward Earth again. "They won't believe words," he said. "They won't believe logic, but maybe they will believe their eyes." His plan was risky, maybe even foolish. He would return to Earth's orbit, connect to a public data stream, and broadcast the truth galaxy-wide. Raw footage, behind-the-scenes shots, humans laughing with fake blood. Actors pulling off masks, directors shouting, "Cut!" All of it. He just needed to reach the satellite relay without being caught. Alien Council. Growing division back on the Zarkelian homeworld. Tension built. Some council members started questioning the war talk. What if Zorak was right? One said, "What if we're preparing for war against shadows?" But the military shouted back, "Even if it's fiction, it shows how dangerous humans can be. Their minds create monsters. That alone makes them dangerous." The room split. One side said, "Destroy the threat." The other said, "We are becoming the threat." But before any decision was made, a warning alert arrived. Unauthorized. Ship heading toward Earth's orbital net. Zorak reaches the relay near Earth. The stars were still. Zorak's ship drifted close to the satellite network used by humans for old media broadcasts. He locked into the signal path. He opened the human files. He began the upload. "Let them see the fake screams," he said. "Let them watch the director laugh. Let them see a child wear the monster's mask and giggle." The footage started transmitting. The broadcast all across alien space. Screens lit up. The mysterious human war video was shown again, but this time, followed by the full making of footage. They saw humans smiling on set, actors covered in makeup, rubber, suits. Cameras. Fake blood pumped by tubes, and laughter. So much laughter, reaction. Doubt spread. Some aliens stared at the footage, confused. Others cried. A few dropped their weapons. One Zarkelian mother turned to her son and said, "They were pretending?" A Carnathy commander whispered, "We were afraid of a costume." Civilian networks demanded answers. Younger council members asked to reopen Zorak's case. But for others, it was already too late. Military denial. General Harth watched the footage with a cold face. "Of course they showed us this now," he said. "They want us relaxed, soft, just before they strike." Others nodded. They faked the behind the scenes. They knew we would find it. It's another layer of the trap. One leader shouted, "Even their lies are dangerous." Zorak's final message. As the broadcast ended, Zorak sent out one final message. "I stood on their world. I walked their streets. I watched the movie with them. They fear darkness, just like us, but they learned to laugh at it. We feared a story. Now we fear their imagination. And next, we will fear each other. This fear must end before it becomes war." His signal cut out. Alien fleets began to move. Some backed away, others moved closer. Ending. The galaxy decides in the stars near Earth. Over 24 alien ships now stood silent, weapons half-charged. Targets locked, but no one fired, because no one could agree on one simple question. Was it just a movie, or something more? And Zorak, drifting near Earth in a hidden pod, waited for an answer. For months, Earth had remained silent, watched by alien fleets, surrounded by fear. But now, Earth responded, and the galaxy held its breath. The human broadcast across alien space. Every long-range frequency was suddenly filled with the same message. It came in hundreds of languages. Voices were calm, human, direct. We know you found our file. We understand it frightened you, but it was fiction. A story, a movie made to scare our own people for fun, not war. The video changed. Behind-the-scenes footage played again. Humans building fake sets, laughing as costumes fell apart. Children in the theater throwing popcorn. We fear monsters too, the voice said. But we chose to laugh at them. We never meant to hurt you. We didn't even know you were watching. The message ended with a simple line. We offer peace, not fear. Alien reaction. Split in two in the Zarkelian Council Hall. The message played 3 times. Younger leaders leaned forward. They're telling the truth, but General Harth stood up. It's too perfect, too clean. They knew we were afraid. So now they say it was fake when it's too late to prove anything. They're controlling the story. Across the galaxy, the same argument began. Some believed Earth. Some called it manipulation. Some believed Zorak. Others said Zorak had been used. Civilian uprising on multiple alien worlds. Civilians protested. Crowds shouted in city squares. Stop the war before it begins. We feared a lie. Talk to Earth. Old veterans cried, remembering real wars started by mistakes. One teacher told his students, we feared shadows. But sometimes, shadows come from our own minds. But even as hope spread, a darker decision was growing in secret. The strike proposal. A small group of commanders from multiple species held a hidden meeting. They were tired of talks. They believed one thing. The humans showed us terror. Real or fake, it doesn't matter. They must be tested. So they made a plan. Send a silent weapon toward Earth. Nothing lethal. Just a warning strike. Something to show them we aren't afraid. A stealth drone was prepared, loaded with a kinetic pulse. Its target, an old human satellite. Launch approved. Zorak watches from orbit floating in a hidden pod above Earth. Zorak had seen the message broadcast. His heart felt lighter. They finally spoke, he whispered, but then his scanner blinked red. A fast-moving object. Alien tech, heading straight for Earth's satellite ring. No, Zorak said. They're testing the humans. If it hits, this will all fall apart. He boosted his pod engines, chased the drone. Earth seized the strike as the alien drone reached its target. Earth's military picked it up. Too late to stop it. The pulse hit. A satellite shattered. Fragments burned in the sky. Human systems scrambled. Lights flickered. Communications stalled. Earth panicked. Their peaceful message was answered with a strike. Earth's new message within 2 hours. Earth responded. But this time no smiling faces. No movie clips. Just one line on every frequency. We offered peace. We received fire. We are not afraid. That was all. Then silence. Galaxy holds its breath. Alien worlds froze. Had they gone too far? Some leaders screamed, we said not to strike. Others whispered, this is it. They'll respond. Across hundreds of ships, weapons were activated, just in case. Some captains gave final orders to families back home. Zorak looked at Earth through the glass of his pod. Don't do it, he whispered. Please, don't become what they fear. The stars were silent. No ships moved. No words were spoken. After Earth's final message. We are not afraid. Everything paused. Across the galaxy, leaders, soldiers, and civilians waited for the next move. Would Earth fire back? Would war begin? Or was there still time? The moment before war on alien battle stations. Red lights blinked. Weapons were ready. Fingers hovered over controls. Commanders stared at screens. Watching Earth, waiting for a missile, a laser beam, anything. But Earth stayed quiet. No retaliation. No response. Just silence. Zorak's last broadcast inside his hidden pod. Zorak activated a small transmitter, one that couldn't be blocked. He sent a final message to every ship, every planet, every council. I've seen Earth. I've walked their cities. I've sat among their people. They are not perfect. They fear, they fight, they laugh. But that horror file we found was never a weapon. We turned it into one. We let fear drive us to the edge. His voice cracked. You have a choice now. Fight shadows or build something better. He ended the message with a single word. Decide. Civilian voices rise on alien worlds. People began to speak. Some wept. Some gathered in public, holding signs. End the fear. Talk to Earth. No war for fiction. Elders told stories of old wars, how they started from confusion, pride, and silence. Children asked, why are we fighting people who made movies? Earth's final move then. Earth broadcasted again, not with threats, but with an invitation. A calm message from a human woman. We understand your fear. We felt it too. If you wish to speak, we will listen. Then the video changed, showing a child watching the same horror movie with her father. The child hid behind a blanket. The father smiled and said, it's okay. It's not real. The turning point on the Zarkelian flagship. General Harth stood in silence. His hand rested on the command panel. He could still fire. He could still strike. Earth and start a war history would never forget. But then a message flashed on his screen from his daughter. Please don't shoot, Father. They were just telling stories. Like we do at bedtime. His fingers pulled away. He turned to his crew. Stand down. Across the galaxy, other ships followed. Weapons went offline. Engines powered down. The war that almost happened stopped. Zorak returns weeks later. Zorak stood before the council. This time, no chains. No prison. Just silence. The head of the council said, you risked everything. Why? Zorak looked up. Because I believe truth should be stronger than fear. And because I believe we should be better. They nodded. One by one. Zorak had been right. A new beginning months passed. Earth received its first peaceful visitors. Not warriors, not spies, but scientists, diplomats, and curious travelers. Humans laughed when aliens asked to tour the movie studio. They showed them rubber masks, plastic axes, fake blood tubes. A Neuronk scientist fainted when he saw the monster suit up close, and the human actor take it off smiling. Laughter echoed through the halls, ending humanity's real power in the end. The galaxy didn't fear Earth anymore. They respected it, because Earth had done something no empire, no fleet, no machine had ever done. It made fear. Something you could laugh at. That was Earth's power. Not weapons. Not monsters. Imagination. Final line. Zorak's voiceover. In a galaxy full of war, Earth told a story. And that story nearly started a war. But in the end, it saved us from ourselves.